Okay, so now we're going to learn how to actually algebraically find an inverse function. So we got 4 basic steps. Only 2 of them are really something you're going to actually have to do. We're going to use this function here, f of x equals x plus 3 squared minus 7. So the first thing you're going to do is actually change f of x here to y. Not really a big deal. It's 2 and 3 here that you really have to do. What we're going to do is switch x and y. So literally switching places, x and y. Now comes the algebra. You're going to solve for y. So I can't do anything to this. I have to add the 7 to both sides. To get rid of the cube root, to the third power, get rid of the cube, I take the cube root of both sides. We'll get into this in a second too. We're going to take the cube root of that and the cube root of that. And the idea is this cancels out this. And now I'm going to subtract 3. And now I've got y by itself. I've solved for y. So the last thing is to change y to f inverse of x, just for notation's sake. So the inverse of this function is this. Okay, let's try it out. Oh, we need to go over this. How do I get rid of the n power? You take the nth root of both sides. Whatever this power is, you take that root. And the idea is this and this cancel each other out. So y would be the nth root of x. Here, to get rid of an n root, kind of the opposite, I'm going to raise it to the nth power. And again, this and this cancel each other out. So I'm just left with x to the n equals y. Same thing here. If you have like a 1 over n power, you're going to raise both sides of the n power, because then you'd be doing the property of exponents. N times 1 over n would be 1, so they'd cancel each other out. And I raise this side to the n power, so I raise that side to the n power. Okay, let's give it a whirl. We're going to start with some good, easy linear ones. So we start by changing f of x to y. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over 3. I'm sorry, I switched x and y, and then I added 12 to both sides. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 over 3, the reciprocal. So 2 over 3 times 3 over 2 is 1. We get 2 over 3x. Then we have to do 2 over 3 times 12, which will be 8. So I got y by itself. So f inverse of x is 2 over 3x plus 8. Okay, you give this one a whirl, pause it here, come back and check your answers. Okay, change f of x to y, switch x and y. I'm going to subtract 16, multiply both sides by negative 3 over 4. This will become just y. Distribute that out. You get negative 3 over 4x plus 12. So f inverse of x is negative 3 over 4x plus 12. Okay, let's try a little bit more difficult ones. I'm going to change f of x to y, switch x and y. And now I'm going to take I'm going to add 9 to both sides. To get rid of this 7, I'm going to take the 7th root. And there we go. You give this one a whirl. Pause here, try this one, come back and check your answers. Okay. Switch x and y. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Then simply raise both sides to the 5th power. And even delta math is going to let you leave it like that. So there you go. Now I hope you start seeing a pattern here, especially with these. We started out with just x to the 7th, but we ended up everything being to the 7th root. Here we started with just x being to the 1/5 power. We ended up with everything being to the 5th root or the 5th power. It's like if it's happening to a little thing, then in the end, the thing happens to everything. And you'll see certain ones where if it happens to everything, if this was x minus 9 all to the 7th power, then this would have been just the 7th root of x and then plus 9. We'll see how that works. Okay, here we start getting a little more complicated. Do the whole switch x and y thing. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. I need to get rid of this first. Now I'm going to subtract the 9. Multiply both sides by 6, and even delta math is even letting you leave it like this. Now how do I get rid of the cube root? I'm going to raise both sides to the 3rd power. And there, I'm done. There's my inverse. Okay, you give this one a try, pause it here, and work this one out, and come back and check your answers. Okay, do the whole switch x and y thing. Got to get rid of this 3 first, so I'm going to divide by 3. Then I'm going to raise both sides to the 5th power. Now I'm going to end up multiplying by 4 and subtracting 2. And there you go. And again, same thing here. I just had x to the 3rd power, or I'm sorry, to the cube root of x. So in the end, everything was to the 3rd power. Here I had a bunch of stuff to the 1/5 power. In the end, I have one little thing to the 5th power. It's like it goes from little to big, and then kind of big to little, which is, I mean, kind of should make sense how inverses work. Okay, there you go. Good luck.